It's Shayla here, and I'm back with a new video. Alright, so here I am sharing with you one of my favorite breakfast recipes that I try and make all the time. Anytime I'm in New York, I really am craving a lox bagel with a coffee. But I'm currently not in New York. I'm sitting at home in my house. So I just want to go ahead and share this recipe with you. Also, you may notice that I'm wearing some new specs. They are from Warby Parker and I love them. They're currently doing a special now where you can actually try on your glasses at home. You get 5 free frames to try on. So I suggest you guys check that out. Without further ado, let's get into what I'm making. This is a lox toast. So for those of you who don't know, lox is just a piece of salmon that's already brined, and you just take it off and normally have it with a bagel or something like that. So I'm gonna show you guys how I make this recipe. It's super, super easy at home and healthy, and I love it, so let's check it out.
All right, so here are all of our ingredients. We have the radishes, the smoked salmon, dill, capers, lemon, goat cheese, red onions, French onion, and Ezekiel bread and Philadelphia cream cheese to start with. Okay, so what we're going to start first with making is this scallion mix. It's super easy to make, and we're going to start with these scallions or French onions. French green onions is another term for this. So you're going to cut off the green ends, and we're going to want both the green and a little bit of the white ends of it. I'm only making enough for just my serving size, so we're really going to have a lot of this left over. But as you see, I go ahead and cut off the green pieces, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut some of the white onion portions too. And after I do that, I'm going to go ahead and try and really cut these up into small, tiny pieces, mincing them in because I don't personally want big chunks to be in my scallion mix. So let's go ahead and you'll see me cutting up into smaller pieces now. So now I'm going to go ahead and take out this cream cheese. You can get many flavors, but I just got the regular original flavor. I'm taking out 1 whole tablespoon of this, and you'll see later that I'm actually going to go ahead and go in for another tablespoon. So I'd say per piece, because there's going to be 2 pieces of toast, I just got 1 tablespoon for each piece. And I'm going to go ahead and scrape that out. I got the creamy version, and I like the plain version better because you can always spice it up. You can add in pepper and things like that if you need it. But so far in this recipe, I'm just going to go ahead and add in the scallions, and I'm going to add in that lemon to give it that nice zesty citrusy flavor that you'll really, really enjoy. So now I'm mixing in those scallions, and I'm going to get a spoon so that it'll be easier for me to mix everything together. But first I'm going to go ahead and get this lemon, and I'm going to begin to cut it so that we can get some of the flavor. Okay, so now we're about to go ahead and do 1 full lemon squeeze into this mixture. You can do more or less if you want. I don't really know how to measure out lemon squeezes, so I'm just going to say squeeze at your heart's desire. And then after that, I'm going to get a spoon, and we're going to mix everything together so that it's nice and creamy and easy to spread. Lastly, what we're going to do is we're going to cover this and put it in the fridge and let it sit there for maybe about 5 minutes. The recipe doesn't call for this, but I like to do it so it gets everything some time to settle, and also because I'm going to be busy cutting up some other items, so why not let it rest in the fridge? Next, we are bringing in some radishes. These radishes are so beautiful, but they are dirty, so I'm going to go ahead and wash them. I'm only probably going to use about 2 for this recipe. Once again, it's just a serving size for me. So I'm going to go ahead and begin to cut these. Be careful because they are small, and you do not need a lot. So it depends on your preference when cutting them. I like to have circular disc, and then I also like to have some that are slanted, but more or less, I really like mine to be thin. That's my preference when it comes to radishes. Alright, so now we have our red onion, and you can also do pickled red onions if you prefer. I'll show you how to do that in another recipe, but right now we're just going to use the raw red onions. I'm actually not even going to use all of this. As you see, I'm cutting a smaller piece. So yeah, just go ahead and chop this into small, thin slices, and go ahead and set these to the side after you're done doing that. And so, something I would say is just add another piece of fruit or something to your meal. I love grapefruit, and sometimes I put a little bit of brown sugar on top, but right now I'm just going to half in this and save it for later. So next I'm showing you the wrapper for the Ezekiel bread with flaxseed. That's what we're using, and this bread is so good. It's really low in calories and carbs, and it's organic, and it's just a really good bread to try out. So here are the two pieces. I'm going to go ahead and start toasting it. It's lined with flax seeds, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and get out the salmon. So this salmon you can buy from pretty much any grocery store, but just make sure that it's pre-sliced, ready to cook. And this version is the smoked salmon, but normally they'll say that they're lox salmon on the front of it. So go there, go Whole Foods, go anywhere to go get it. So right now I got out the scallion mix. It's been sitting in the fridge. So I'm going to go ahead and get this and start to smear it on that Ezekiel bread. You can see the scallions on the top of it. I know that this is going to be great because I tasted a little bit, I'm not going to lie, and it is amazing. Once again, you can also use this without the scallion mix if you don't want to. And I also saw a dairy-free version of Philadelphia cream cheese. I saw a lot of different versions by Simply Truth and by Kite Hill. So if you don't want to do dairy, don't worry, we gotcha. Alright, so let's start topping this. I'm going to go ahead and take out this pre-sliced salmon. Normally I use all of it, but today I'm trying to save some for tomorrow's breakfast. So I'm going to go ahead and pull off that slice. One slice per piece of toast, and it comes with 4 altogether. So like I said, save it for later, use it for now. It's up to you. You can once again put on some more spread if you like, but I'm saving that for later. I'm going to start adding the red onions to this, and it doesn't look like much now, but I promise you it'll look amazing after. So these are also the radishes. Like I said, I like mine thin, and these just were not thin enough. So you see me cutting them again because I'm like, I want these as thin as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these and add these to the toast. So now I am grabbing for that dill. It's fresh and it's super affordable from your local grocery store. And dill is just really great because it garnishes a meal very well. And yes, you can eat it. It is not just there for show. It is for you to eat. And so I'm going to go ahead and spread this all over. And then we're going to move on to the last couple of steps. So now I'm going to go ahead and get the goat cheese. I love goat cheese, but you can use feta or any type of cheese that you like. I'm going to sprinkle this everywhere because I love goat cheese. If you don't know one thing about me, that I love cheese. So I'm going to sprinkle this all over, and it's going to taste great. And before I actually use the scallion mix, I used to just eat this plain because everything went together so nicely. I didn't even feel like I needed the mix. So as you can see, this is about the end, but I'm going to add in the piece de resistance that you need, which are the capers. Capers are so good, and they have like that pow flavor. And I can honestly just eat capers. That is probably a problem, but that's me. So I'm going to go ahead and place these capers, a ton of capers, if you have not noticed, everywhere on this plate. And after we are done with that, I will plate it up. It will look beautiful, and I'll go ahead and try it with you. And here we are all finished. This is what it looks like in great lighting. So we're going to go ahead and get ready to eat this.
Right, dun, 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 here it is. Okay, so let me tell you a little secret. So the very first time that I made this, I didn't make the scallion mix with it. All I did was just take the goat cheese, and it's so soft that you can actually press it down into the bread and make the spread that way. So this is the first time I'm trying it with you guys with the scallion mix. So I am excited. I'm gonna go ahead and take a bite. Huh. Okay. This is so good. It's literally so good. I'm not exaggerating. It's like all these flavors are just combining in my mouth. And I literally can't. I literally can't. It's like you have the citrus from that lemon that I put in the scallion mix, but then you also have like that freshness of the dill. But then you have that, I don't know if it's like a tardiness or like that bite from a caper. If you've ever bitten into a caper, you know what I'm talking about. This is so good. Let me put this down. Clearly it's in my hand. And this goat cheese. Who doesn't love goat cheese? I mean, seriously. So, that recipe gets an A+ for me. What is it? 10 out of 10? Would recommend. Literally. So, seriously, make this recipe at home. I have a lot of other recipes that I'm going to be coming back with you guys with. So, please try them out and let me know in the comments how you like it. So, until next time, please stay safe and stay home.